Hey guys, so today I'm going to be talking about multifunctional makeup products. When you buy certain products, whether it be blush or eyeshadow, you buy it with a specific purpose in mind, but sometimes those products can be used for other things. For me, it was really difficult at first just because I felt like it was weird to use makeup products in different ways, but watching, various makeup artists and gurus using these products just for whatever odd end jobs that they needed, it worked really well for them. I'm just going to talk about a couple really basic things. I didn't come up with all of these. It's just, they're known things. It's just a lot of times they're not really advertised or like put out there as much. So I thought that this video would be helpful. And with those 5 products that I'm going to be talking about today, you can create an entire look that covers both your eyes, lips, cheeks, face, everything. It's not the look that I'm wearing right now, in case you're wondering, but it is a very natural, easy, everyday look that looks really nice and one that can be easily achieved with just a few really easy to find products. So this video was actually requested by my friend Krista a long time ago. So I am really sorry that I'm just now getting to it, but I did want to go ahead and do this video for you. So yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So the first product I'm going to talk about today is definitely something that is a staple and a basic thing that everyone needs to have in their collection, and that is a shimmery eyeshadow. And I'm talking about like a light eyeshadow, but this kind of varies on different people's skin tone. This isn't too far from my natural skin color. However, you might be significantly darker than me and would maybe require something like this. If you were, say, more like a deeper skin tone, this would be something that would work a little bit better for you. Or if you're even more fair than I am, then you might even want to opt for something that looks like this. So there's a lot of different options that you can choose, but a shimmery eyeshadow that's relatively close to your skin color is really helpful. For me personally, I really like the NYX Champagne eyeshadow. There are a couple different ways you can use this. The first way is obviously you can use it and apply it all over your eyelid. That's kind of what a lot of people would initially think when looking at this kind of eyeshadow. So I like to apply this wet. I'll actually take a flat shader brush and then dip it in water, take off the excess water, use it to apply this eyeshadow, and because it's wet, it kind of creates a foiling effect and makes it look like it's solid aluminum foil, but this particular color. So it makes the color really vibrant and awesome looking on the eyes. You can also take a pencil brush and apply this to the inner corner, since this is a really shimmery, glowy color. It can also really brighten up your eyes, and I think just kind of brightens up the entire face. I have done that on my makeup today, even though my eyeshadow is really dark. Just adding that little bit of highlight in the corner really brightens up the look and makes it look a little bit more alive. And I really like wearing this every single day. I do tend to avoid putting shimmer under my brow, but I think when you use a pencil brush and it's just underneath the brow, I believe that can look really nice, as long as you don't pile shimmer on all over your brow bone. I think that can really aid you and make you look really cheap. But if you do just a little bit just to brighten up underneath there, that can really open up your eyes and raise the eyebrows a little bit more. So that is another thing you can use, all just on the eyes alone. However, there are also a lot of really awesome uses for this eyeshadow that apply to the face as well. And one of them is just using this to apply as a cheek highlight. So what I would do is I would apply my blush as normally, and to just pat this on the tops of the cheekbones and then blend it into the blush, and that just creates such a glowy effect. I would say that this would be best if you were younger. I think when you're a little bit older, you definitely want to avoid putting shimmer on your face, but while I'm young, I'm gonna continue to do so because I think it just gives such a wonderful dewy looking effect, and it just makes you look glowing. Face highlights are really expensive. The one that immediately comes to mind is the Dior Amber Diamond, which is gorgeous, don't get me wrong. However, it is really expensive, so why spend a lot of money on a product that only has one intended purpose when you can go ahead and use a product that's probably already in your collection and just do that for free and just get that much more use out of this product. You can also take that shimmery color and apply it to your Cupid's bow and also to the center of your bottom lip, and this will really make your lips pop from afar. You can really see them, and then when you add the shimmer to the center of your bottom lip, it makes that lip appear fuller as well. If you want to make your lips appear a little bit fuller, that would be one really easy way to do it. Also, just to make your lips pop in general with that Cupid's bow, it's just very striking from a distance without really seeming like you put a lot of effort into it. So just little details that you can do with just one little eyeshadow can really help boost the look that you're wearing that day. One product that I think is really super basic in every single collection is something you probably already have. If you're watching this video and you wear makeup, chances are you probably have a face powder. I think that's a pretty wonderful place to start. So my MAC Studio Fix has seen better days. However, if you want to use something like the Milani Multitask Powder, this is a really great face powder. The L'Oreal True Match face powders are wonderful. Regardless of what powder you use, it has more than one use. The obvious use is to, apply it to your face. A lot of girls like myself apply this with a fluffy brush over their liquid foundation or tinted moisturizer or BB cream to set it. However, you can also use this with a dense brush and just use this as your foundation. So if you just want to apply concealer to where you need some extra help and then just apply this with a dense brush, I personally like to use the Real Techniques buffing brush. I think this is a wonderful foundation brush for both liquid cream and powder foundations. Using your typical face setting powder with a dense brush, it will concentrate that product a lot more and it will give a little bit more of a full coverage. And I do think that with the MAC Studio Fix, you can achieve a medium to almost full coverage look if you buff it in with the correct brush. Also, I really enjoy using face powders as kind of my best friend color on the eyes. And I've heard people use that term a lot, and basically any flush tone eyeshadow would be one that you use as a blender color from between your dark crease color and your brow bone, or even if you want to kind of clean up the edges right here, you can apply a little bit of your face powder and use it to kind of soften the edges on your eyeshadows. Flush tone eyeshadows are obviously very easy to find, but they're a lot smaller. I mean, can you imagine how much use of an eyeshadow you would get if it were this big? So again, why spend money on another eyeshadow when you can use a product that you already have in your collection? Also, say you have a powder that is, a little bit too dark for you. It's like this Milani Multitask powder. It's still just a touch too dark for me. I'm almost to this color, but not quite. So it wouldn't exactly be appropriate for me to wear this all over my face. However, since it is too dark for me, I can also use this in the contours of my face to almost add a little bit of dimension. So for me personally, I would probably put it right here and then a little bit down here just to kind of accentuate my cheekbones and accentuate my jawline, make everything just a little bit more defined. That would be another really great way to use a powder that might be, your summer powder and doesn't necessarily match you anymore. You don't have to throw it away. You don't have to just let it sit there. It obviously has its purposes as well. And I still think that using a powder that's just a touch too dark for you is still safe to use as a blender color on your eyes. Another basic product that you most likely have in your collection is a dark matte brown color. And I have a few different ones. I have been using mostly Omega eyeshadow. However, if you're a little bit darker than me or you want to go a little bit more intense, you can use Mystery eyeshadow, or even a little bit more beyond that, you could even use a bronzer. For example, the NYX matte bronzers are fantastic as well. Matte darker brown powders are really, really useful. I honestly could trade in between any of these just because they're all so different. They all serve the same purpose. One obvious way that I would think to use, say these eyeshadows would be to use to contour the eye. It's not necessarily the color that's so important. I mean, obviously that's particular to what look you're trying to go for. However, I think it's more important that they are matte. The texture of the eyeshadows and the finish is what I think what really, sets them apart from your typical shimmery eyeshadow. I have a shimmery color all over the lid, so if I want to make the socket of my eye look like it's further back, you want to use a matte color because shimmery colors always bring things forward and make them appear bigger and brighter. So I want to define my eye and to contour it, so I'm going to use a dark matte color to contour my crease. So any of these colors would work really, really well. Even this bronzer, honestly, you can even use this bronzer as well because even though it is bronzer, it's a matte dark brown pigment. Therefore, it's going to serve the same purpose. Also, if you were to take any of these pigments and then take a wet angled brush, you could use these to darken them and then use them as a liner. This isn't going to be as intense as, say, your typical black liner. However, it is going to serve the same purpose to accentuate that lash line and make your lashes appear fuller, also to add some definition to your eyes as well. It's serving the same purpose, it's just using these products in a different way. If a product is applying a certain way and it's not exactly how you want it, it might also have something to do with the brush you're using. Using a, dense little flat shader brush and then using a big fluffy brush. If you use the same eyeshadow with both of these, it's going to apply like completely different products. So it honestly just depends on what brushes you're using and whether you're using it wet or dry or how much you're using. So if I wanted to line my eyes with, say, Mystery eyeshadow, I would take an angled brush and then dip it in water, take off the excess water, and then just apply it to my lash line as I would a gel or cream liner. and it works just as well. It does the same job. It obviously gives a more natural look, but if anything, I think that's something that people want to achieve even more. So if you're out of your favorite liner or you want to try something a little bit more natural for every day, try using a darker eyeshadow. The same goes for, dark shimmery eyeshadows as well, and you can use a number of colors or finishes, but just for the purposes of this video, if you already have that basic brown eyeshadow that you use to contour your crease, why not use it as a liner? Another way to use a matte brown color is to also fill in your eyebrows. This looks really, really warm, and in general, bronzers are going to be a little bit more orangey or yellow tinted. However, this works just as well on my eyebrows. I used to use Mystery all the time, and then I switched to Omega, but I used this on my brows the other day and it worked out really, really well. So only thing that matters is that it's, not too far from your natural hair color, and also making sure that it is matte. As long as it is matte and it is brown, honestly, you could probably pull it off. So I just take a dry angle brush and then apply this into my brows, and it just really fills in the empty spaces and just really, really cleans up my brows and makes them look really neat and polished. Not necessarily something that bronzers advertise for using, but it still works really, really well. And then the last purpose for a darker brown pigment would be to use it as a contour. I typically use my matte bronzer as somewhat of a contour color, so I would take my duo fiber brush, this one is from Crown, and then just use it to contour the hollows of my cheeks as well as underneath my chin. You can also do that with an eyeshadow. I wouldn't necessarily use Mystery eyeshadow with this just because it is significantly darker than me. I mean, I could, as long as I used a really light hand and took a lot of time to blend. However, I could easily use Omega eyeshadow to contour my face. It doesn't look that super dark, but Omega eyeshadow does apply pretty dark and it contours just enough where it would be natural. So say you were looking for a really good contour powder, but you can't find one, they're all too orange, you can always use, a cooler brown matte eyeshadow. In general, if you're looking for a darker brown to invest in, I would definitely recommend going cooler rather than warmer, just because chances are warmer might pull a little bit orange on you, but a cooler eyeshadow will always either look neutral or just a little cool, and it's a lot more flattering, I think, especially since you typically use this to contour. Shadows, like your shadow like on the sidewalk or something, will never ever appear orange, but it will always appear, a little bit bluey or purpley or black or gray or some version of that. So you always want to get those kinds of cooler toned powders to use to contour. I think those always have a little bit more natural looking effect, even though it may not look as welcoming in the pan. Another product that can go hand in hand, this one is definitely a lot more heavily advertised with certain products, especially from Benefit and the Balm. I immediately think of them. Cream blushes are definitely a really great staple. These are really, really nice to work with. The NYX ones are incredibly pigmented, so I really love how little product you have to use in order to get, a good look out of these. But cream blushes are wonderful for, obviously for your cheeks and everything, but also really, really great lip products. The NYX ones look really, really great on the lips. However, I only have kind of bluer toned colors, so they don't look as flattering on my particular skin tone, but I know on someone who's a little bit more fair and cooler tones than me, these would look awesome on. So I automatically reverted to the Balm Staniac, and this is a lip and cheek stain. So this is obviously intended to be used as a lip and cheek stain, but I just wanted to let you know that there are multifunctional products out there that are advertised and also safe to use that way. So the Balm Staniac's really nice. Another product that you can use to do the same thing is also just a lipstick. Again, I would recommend going matte just because it is a lot safer, especially if you don't want to put too much shimmer on your face. This Stylista lipstick from Lancome is one of my favorites to do that. I would apply this all over my lips and then also dab just a little bit on my cheeks and then just blend it out with my finger. And because this is such a creamy lipstick, it blends out really, really nicely. Just as any lipstick that you have in your collection would work really, really well. And at the same time, you could also use a cream blush for your lips as well. So that's a little bit more obvious, especially if you are into makeup, but a lot of people legitimately don't know that that's a thing. So I just wanted to go ahead and mention that that is indeed a thing. And then my last product is also a little bit more on the obvious side, but just in case you guys didn't know, it is also a thing, but clear mascara. I remember using clear mascara a lot when I was younger, and I wish I had known about this trick because my brows were a complete mess when I was younger. Using clear mascara as brow gel is a wonderful, wonderful trick, and I recently started doing this, and I will never ever not be OCD about my brows anymore because I learned this trick. After filling in your brows and everything, using a clear mascara will really, really seal them in place and just make them look very, very neat and polished. And I've been talking about this in my videos for I feel like the past 2 months, but your brows and how they look really affects your face. If I had really wispy all over the place brows, it would make me appear very like crazy Oscar the Grouch to everyone, and that's not necessarily a look I'm trying to go for. So I really love using this clear mascara. I'll also use this on my eyelashes as normal mascara as well. And since there's so much brown pigment in there, it does deposit a little bit of pigment onto my eyelashes. If you want something like easy and everyday, you can use this for both of those, and it's really helpful. And the Great Lash one is really cheap. Depending on your skin color, a brown mascara would also do the same thing, but I am a little bit more fair, so I didn't want my brows to look super intense with a brown mascara, so I'm totally cool with just using a clear one. So that concludes my video for today. I hope that you found at least something helpful from this, or if it was at least entertaining for you. I'm gonna go ahead and link my partner post for State Press down below, so you can go check that out. And if you aren't already subscribed to my channel, be sure to do so, and you can do that by either clicking on my face or on the little button above me that says subscribe, so you can be updated on when I post new videos. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and that you're having a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.